Hello, Raptors, and welcome back to the letter. So we are exploring Zachary's side of the story for now. So we are basically going in a sequence. So it was Isabel, Hannah, now it's Zachary. So we're going into sequences, and Zachary seems to be having a lot of problems of his own recently as well. So we're gonna investigate that now. So let's get into it. There you go. That's where we left off. They were having a nice meal in the last episode as well. So the wounds are too fresh. Too soon. I'd likely avoid it as well as if I were here in her position and someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like that. Though perhaps the closest we got to broaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we are careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her late business partner. It's the least we could do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned.
Oh, yeah, I've been to that party.
It's why they wanted us to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Okay.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Get what?
Remember what I told you last night about the new clients?
Yeah, they're the Wrights, and you are going to go take pictures for them. We saw that in Hannah's arc, right? And something feisty happened as well.
Vaguely? Sorry, I was a little out of it yesterday.
You were definitely so out of it yesterday.
Was it the photo shoot?
Yep, it's actually for the one you sold. Something.
Ermengarde.
When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple.
Exactly. They're sort of like a kind of a big deal. They own half of Luxembourg or all of Luxembourg or something like that.
They can have those documents rushed at just a snap of their fingers. And they're more influential than I initially thought.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
You have
I
no
guess
idea.
my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Yeah. You have no idea what high expectations they have, especially Hannah now.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself.
Hey, words of inspiration there by Isabella.
Ma'am Hana's easy to please, too. As long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Different clients have different tastes after all.
She's definitely having a taste in you, Zachary. I'm speaking from previous episode experience.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. They wanted everything finished at the earliest. To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird.
Fishy. No, it's fishy. Say that.
Still weird, yeah?
A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's ways. Yet in this moment, it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it. Rather pointedly.
I can't exactly say it's like that, where I'm just the middleman after all.
Whoa.
As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs.
Okay.
It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time, despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Alright then.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright is a drunk ass, that's all I'm saying.
Well, they should have one. Especially for a big property like this.
And a cheater. No spoilers in this episode, so... spoilers? That's... Nope. If you watch the previous episode, it's not spoiler of a big deal anyways. So, yeah.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Hey, Ash, catch him, shush.
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
Yeah.
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup.
Burn.
That's a pretty picture.
Ash is gonna get whacked on the face, what I'm saying.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
Ooh, shots fired.
What? How did you...
Shots fired.
Oh, come on, Zach.
Hey.
Sorry, it just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
Damn.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Oh, damn.
Hey, that was an accident.
Everything is coming out all of a sudden now.
You were making a salad, Ash.
Damn, Ash. What kind of salad were you making? Those spaghetti kind?
Can we please move on to a different topic?
It helps the casual talk, the harmless teasing, the mundane stories interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at forefront of my mind. If it's the time for Isabella, for whatever troubles her, I can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, they ain't easily seen, ain't easily forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tosses her. But he doesn't give her an answer and waits for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
You wouldn't do that, Isabella. You're nice like that.
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
And that.
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you.
Damn. Oh, they make quite a good, cute couple. I ship them.
See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Who else ships Isabella and Zach? I mean, Isabella and Ash Ketchum. I ship them.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
Hey. A grin is back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while, we are left alone. Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The early amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can tell describes as trepidation. I know that look all too well. When it's like this, he's expecting shit about to go down at some point soon.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier?
Yeah.
You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Damn.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
Yeah, Ash, what are you hiding? Let us know too.
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Yeah.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple.
I have a little bit of idea what's going on with Hannah right now. She's being a yandere.
I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
Sure, you have to. He nods, claps a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never been good with those. More often, he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door, but he doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back, gestures with his head towards the table. I don't need to follow his line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely taken notice of it the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
Aw.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please.
Yeah, she can be quite the bossy lady when she wants to be. Ooh.
Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did.
Damn.
Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell.
Yeah.
Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly.
Isn't it good to have friends like that? If only I had friends. I'm all alone. I have no
Speaking
friends.
of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Okay.
Thanks. That's all I'm asking.
The time when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A low note flutters by my feet, the letters on the surface glaring at me with such mute intensity. Ermengarde Mansion, H.R. Wright. 11 a.m. for luxury living. Right. After Ashton's warning, they all hold a different meaning now. Excuse me. October 27th, Thursday. The next 2 days rush in by a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess. Zachary, can you stop humming? I'm trying to read. Zachary. I love you and everything, you big lug, but you got shh. Leaving a collective mess of work suddenly piling up and new expected acquaintances or friends. Depending on how you look at it, really. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photos at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by an over-eager art director. Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision and knows what he wants, but damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
Yeah. There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it's simply something I have grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. Certainly takes a while to get some footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run as long as you keep at it. Sure. Given enough time, you might end up with big names on your client list. Names like the Wrights in particular. I never did pay much attention to them, but it is virtually impossible not to hear about them when a local news channel or a paper has something to say on their name. A party here and acquisitions there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's the everyday gossip that typically follows popular people like them. Not in a million years I did ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. And between that, the first that comes with, it leaves me no time to ponder over whatever happened to Isabella, or Ash, or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though.
Yeah.
Despite the whole fame thing.
You have no idea, Zachary. Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. But just like every gossip blown out of proportions by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Much is definitely left to be said for their husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him if he doesn't have any good points at all. Miss Wright, Hannah herself though. Oh my god, how did you have that picture? She ain't particularly bad the way she makes her out to be. Oh wait, did you already go to click the pictures and we didn't get to see the part of the conversation from his side of the perspective? A bit too forward for a married woman maybe, but not as bad as what's on the tabloids. Not that I ever read those. Ashton would give me a flake for just staring at one. Rubbish, he called them once. I just think pissed because they often put the local police in a bad light. Ah, jeez. Although, with life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a really nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might have even ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too if they aren't living worlds apart. Probably. The beep quickly pulls me back from my thoughts to travel any further. In one practice motion, I carefully place a wet print I'm holding on a dry rack and amble over my makeshift darkroom to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photograph sits on the tray, barely visible with the lack of light. Oh boy, we are about to see her, aren't we? It's the last one tonight for the set Miss Wright requested. I don't usually make this a habit, giving away stuff that is. It's bad for business, no matter how well intentioned or generous you are. This exception, however. She was nice enough to ask. After all, I was a good companion up until the awkward turn of our little chit chat has taken. Oh yeah, so they definitely have gone past the conversation, so they didn't show us in this episode. And in this side of the story, I mean. Ah, jeez. Even if she didn't ask, I would have probably given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Miss Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. Maybe this is just me, but for someone who has just everything at the palm of her hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and a loving husband, I wouldn't say he's loving because Luke has something definitely hiding. And I think he has... I'm not going to say anything. You guys need to watch the previous episodes because everything explains there. Oh my god. The plot twist that happened in the previous episode is a plenty being mentioned to call home. She's lonely. She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles. Always hidden behind the glamour for the word you never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like this helps. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. Word drips from the paper, and I blindly pick it up and gently lay it on another tray holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few seconds under the solution is all that I need before it's ready for drying. No good rushing. This last one, even in my body, is already screaming out from some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving towards it familiarly, while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on a drawer with others. The bulb flickers twice as it glows, settles, and casts a soft light in a tiny space. While I glance back down, squeegee in my hand, ready to finish the process and finally call it a night.
What on earth?
Oh yeah, definitely, it's the lady. Yeah, that's bad. Yep, that's bad. Her head is gone, blurred and distorted beyond recognition. Rather, the area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweat, smile the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
I don't think it's something wrong with your Oh damn. Oh jeez. Yee. A common mistake to make, of course, if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark, like I apparently did. It has happened before, lots of times actually. But I don't think this was an accident, Zachary. You know what you saw in the previous episode as well, when you were taking a picture of her. It was really bad. But I still can't help but feel a small pang of frustrations over one mistake a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach up for a switch again, intended to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
That's an understatement. Alright guys, that's all the time I have for this episode. So when we come back in the next episode, we're going to see if this picture actually spooks us, or if it's actually real, or if it's actually a mistake. So we're going to get to the bottom of this situation. Yeah, so that being said, thank you all for the love and support. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Peace!
Legends never die.